Coming up on 5 Minute News. Former AG said Trump was detached from reality over election. Fears of recession as US stocks tumble. And UK reports over 100 additional cases of monkeypox. It's Tuesday, June 14. I'm Anthony Davis. The former president, Donald Trump's closest campaign advisors, top government officials, and even his family were dismantling his false claims of 2020 voting fraud on election night. But the defeated president was becoming detached from reality, clinging to outlandish theories to stay in power. Trump's former campaign manager Bill Stepien testified on Monday before the House January 6 committee that Trump was growing increasingly unhappy at the election results as the night wore on. Son-in-law Jared Kushner tried to steer Trump away from attorney Rudy Giuliani and his far-flung theories of voter fraud that advisors believed were not true. Former Justice Department official Richard Donoghue recalls breaking down one claim after another, from a truckload of ballots in Pennsylvania to a missing suitcase of ballots in Georgia, and telling Trump, "Much of the info you're getting is false." He was becoming detached from reality, said former Attorney General William Barr, who resigned. "I didn't want to be a part of it." The witnesses appeared before the House committee investigating the January 6 Capitol attack as the panel focused on the big lie, Trump's false claims of voter fraud that fueled the defeated Republican president's efforts to overturn the 2020 election and provoked a mob of his supporters to lay siege to the U.S. Capitol. Most of those appearing did so in previous recorded testimony from closed-door interviews over the course of the panel's year-long investigation. The committee has interviewed some 1,000 witnesses and compiled 140,000 documents, and some members say they have uncovered enough evidence for the Justice Department to consider an unprecedented criminal indictment against the former president. Fears about a possible recession are pounding markets, and Wall Street's S&P 500 tumbled yesterday into the maw of what is known as a bear market after sinking more than 20% below its record set early this year. The S&P 500 dropped 2.4% in the first chance for investors to trade after getting the weekend to reflect on the stunning news that inflation is getting worse, not better. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 530 points, or 1.7% as of 12:37 Eastern Time, and the Nasdaq Composite was 2.9% lower. The center of Wall Street's focus was again on the Federal Reserve, which is scrambling to get inflation under control. Its main method is to raise interest rates in order to slow the economy, a blunt tool that risks a recession if used too aggressively. With the Fed seemingly pinned into having to get more aggressive, prices tumbled for everything from bonds to Bitcoin, from New York to New Zealand, with the biggest winners of the early pandemic often taking the heaviest hits. Some traders are even speculating the Fed on Wednesday may raise its key short-term interest rate by 0.75 of a percentage point. No one thinks the Fed will stop there, with markets bracing for a continued series of bigger-than-usual hikes. Those could come on top of some already discouraging signals about the economy and corporate profits, including a record-low preliminary reading on consumer sentiment that was soured by high gasoline prices. British health officials have detected another 104 cases of monkeypox in England, in what has become the biggest outbreak beyond Africa of the normally rare disease. The UK's Health Security Agency said on Monday there were now 470 cases of monkeypox across the country, with the vast majority in gay or bisexual men. Scientists warn anyone, regardless of sexual orientation, is susceptible to catching monkeypox if they are in close physical contact with an infected person or their clothing or bedsheets. According to UK data, 99% of the cases so far have been in men, and most are in London. In May, a leading advisor to the World Health Organization said the monkeypox outbreak in Europe and beyond was likely to spread by sex at two recent raves in Spain and Belgium. Last week, the WHO said 1,285 cases of monkeypox had been reported from 28 countries where monkeypox was not known to be endemic. No deaths have been reported outside of Africa. After the UK, the biggest numbers of cases have been reported in Spain, Germany, and Canada. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.